Hello, my name is Sue Downs, and it's a pleasure to be here today to share with you a wonderful product. It's called the Clavinova by Yamaha. Now, as a church musician for many years, I can tell you this is an extremely versatile instrument, and we're going to demonstrate today how it can be used in either a traditional or a contemporary worship service. We're going to start by talking about its piano capabilities. First and foremost, the Clavinova is a piano. Many of you probably know that Yamaha has been manufacturing pianos for over 100 years. And so they are certainly expert when it comes to knowing how to make a piano feel. On the Clavinova, you have a graded hammer action, real wooden keys, and it feels and responds exactly like a grand piano. Yamaha is also expert in knowing how the piano should look, and there are models available that are shaped like the grand piano, complete with a lift lid. And of course, when one thinks of superb piano tone, one thinks of Yamaha. Let's listen to the award-winning grand piano sound. Now, over the years, I've found there are many times when I would like to augment that piano sound with other orchestral instruments. Think of Easter time, how wonderful it is to have, say, fanfare trumpets, or at Christmas time, perhaps a harpsichord or chimes. Well, I found in large churches that's not a problem, as they have resources instrumentally and manpower. But in a smaller to medium-sized church, it's not always a possibility to gather that kind of instrumentation. Yamaha solved that problem with the Clavinova. Inside of this wonderful instrument are over 600 digitally recorded instruments. Let's listen to some of them. Well, there you have some wonderful orchestral sounds, as you just heard, but no traditional service would be complete without a beautiful church organ sound, and we have many of those on the Clavinova. Real quickly, I'd like to demonstrate just a few of them. We'll start out with a small chapel organ, perfect for those meditative moments, and then we'll have a little larger sounding organ for, say, the prelude or the offertory. And we'll complete this little demonstration with the full pipe organ, which is needed, for, of course, for leading congregational singing. And to give real authentic sound, we have added an expression pedal, which allows us to control the volume, just as you would on an authentic pipe organ. Well, so far we've been playing instruments one voice at a time over the entire keyboard. But on a Yamaha Clavinova, it's actually possible to play two sounds at the same time, one on top of the other. It's called layering, creating a beautiful ensemble effect, something like this. Now, one of the advantages that I love about an organ is that I can actually play two voices at the same time. With two keyboards or two manuals, I can play one voice on one manual, the other voice on another manual. And while it may appear that the Clavinova only has one keyboard, that's not really the case. By splitting the keyboard, I can actually assign a flute to the right hand and a beautiful harp to the left hand. Now, we've heard a lot of exciting sounds on the Yamaha Clavinova, but if I were playing in a live church setting, how would I quickly access all these different sounds? If I were on an organ, I could memorize my favorite settings to presets, and it's exactly the same with the Yamaha Clavinova. For example, by simply pressing one preset, I could call up a French horn, or press another preset and I have a pipe organ. And for your convenience, there are 8 presets on the panel, and you can save them in multiple sets, making your choices virtually unlimited. So here it is Sunday morning, and I want to move quickly from the prelude to, say, a meditative moment with some nice strings. And then perhaps we'd like to have a big pipe organ sound for the opening hymn, followed by a nice little music box to bring children on stage for a special number. Let's see how easily that's accomplished using the Clavinova presets. Well, here's one of my favorite features. One of the huge challenges for church organists and pianists is making every single rehearsal. But you can be at every rehearsal. You could simply pre-record the music, and if you can't make it for whatever reason, that's okay. It's right here in the Clavinova. And you don't need to use external tape recorders. It's very easy. First, press the record button. Second, play your music on the keyboard. Third, press stop and play back. So there you have it. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. But that's just the beginning. Because the Clavinova is digital, there are many distinct advantages. Let's say the choir is struggling with a certain part of the song that I just recorded. With the tempo control, we can easily slow that down so that they can work through those difficult passages. So here's another wonderful advantage. Your music's in one key, the soloist wants to sing it in another. Well, with the transpose feature, you can play it back in any key. I love the transpose feature. I use it often. In fact, most remarkably, you can use it while playing live. In addition to the tempo feature, the Clavinova has fast forward and rewind, just like on your tape recorders. I can't tell you the number of times at a choir rehearsal that we've had to rehearse a difficult passage over and over. Well, with the Clavinova, when you push the fast forward or the rewind, measure numbers appear up on the screen, making it easy to navigate throughout the song. How many times have you had to pound out the soprano, alto, tenor, and bass parts in a choir rehearsal? Well, here's something that I think is clearly a Clavinova advantage. You can record those parts on different instruments so that in the playback the choir can clearly hear their parts. For example, let's put the soprano part on a flute voice. And now let's record the alto part on the oboe voice. And for the tenors, let's use the clarinet voice. And for the basses, you guys are going to be the bassoons. Now I've just recorded for you 4 parts, but because every Clavinova has a built-in multi-track recording studio, we could record up to 16 tracks at one time. In other words, that choir could be accompanied by a full orchestra.